Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great day and enjoying this wonderful and fine day. Today, we're doing a program about 5G and all of the G's in the big towers you see laying on the ground, getting ready to erect faster than light, and the signal itself and its effect on the human body. So I want you to watch this video that I put together for you because it's actually a couple of videos, and learn what I learned about the truth about 5G and the word radiation. It's very interesting, and it may help you feel safer and more secure, and maybe not talk directly on the phone, so it's up against your head, because that it'd be better if you're on speakerphone talking like to your phone. I mean, but it's only really going to heat up your ear or, that kind of stuff. It's not actually going to break your DNA or cause you cancer or anything like that. So says the geniuses, for the lack of better words. But on that note, I want you to watch this program, and I'll be at the other side when you're done watching. God love you.
People are worried about 5G. There's no concern whatsoever with the radiation that's caused by those things?
Technically, we are currently bathed in radiation right now. Everything produces radiation. Everything's emitting photons all the time. It's just a question of what wavelength. If you have a very short wavelength or high frequency photon, that is capable of causing DNA damage. But we're talking about like ultraviolet and beyond. Your phone's not even close. The thing that really causes problems in nuclear explosion are alpha particles, basically helium nuclei. That's also called radiation, but it's really particles. Well, that happens in a nuclear explosion. Cell phones are not emitting particles. The photons that are emitting, the most they can do is slightly warm up your ear. It's emitting photons at a frequency that is not going to cause DNA damage. If I had a helmet of cell phones strapped around my head and around my nuts, I would not worry. Phones are not causing cancer.
5G signal from your cell phone is going to kill you or not. In order to test this, I finally got my hands on a 5G radiation detector. This is called the GQ EMF-390. I'll put a link to it in my description. GQ actually sponsored this video and sent me this device so that I can test out the electronics in my house. So I'm going to be testing the strength of radiation that comes from my cell phone, also my Wi-Fi in my house, and also the cell phone towers as well. So I'm going to be driving to some cell phone towers and testing how strong the radiation is at ground level. The term radiation in and of itself doesn't actually mean something is dangerous. Electromagnetic waves come in all different ranges. You can have radio waves which have extremely long wavelengths, all the way up to gamma rays which have extremely short wavelengths. Usually the electromagnetic waves that we're worried about are the electromagnetic waves that have really short wavelengths, because that means they have a lot of energy. And when they have really short wavelengths, we usually stop talking about them as waves altogether, but we usually talk about them as single particles. The reason we usually get scared when we hear the word radiation is because of another use of the word radiation that we have. And that's for just subatomic particles that are flying through space. We also call that radiation. For example, I have here a small little bit of uranium ore. It's radioactive. It's sending out alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma particles. Now, gamma particles are actually just electromagnetic radiation, but they have extremely low wavelengths or extremely high frequencies. The type of radiation coming off of this uranium sample is dangerous in high amounts because the particles can hit your DNA and it can cause cancer later on or acute radiation sickness. And this type of radiation can be detected with a Geiger counter like this. For example, if I take my Geiger counter here, we can hear the radiation coming off of this. If I don't hold it near it, my microphone's right here, you can hear that every once in a while we get a few clicks. There's one. There's another. But now watch what happens when we bring it closer. A lot of clicks. The type of radiation that you can detect with a Geiger counter is called ionizing radiation. So first, let's just do a quick check and make sure there's no ionizing radiation coming off of our cell phone. So I'm using 5G right now, so let's see if we get an increase in beeps. So you get regular background radiation, bring my phone near it. No increase. So that's a good thing. There's no ionizing radiation coming off of our phone. We never really thought there was, but this is what we mean when we say dangerous radiation. It's ionizing radiation. But now let's see how much 5G radiation is coming off of our phones. Let's drive out to a 5G cell phone tower and measure it with my detector here and see how many milliwatts per meter squared we're getting. Okay, so I'm going to be checking that cell tower here, walking up to it. It actually is detecting cell tower already. So down here on the ground away from it, we're at 7 milliwatts per meter squared. So it still says we're in normal range. So even being really close to these cell towers, doesn't seem like it's a big difference. Okay, when I get further away from it, it's actually worse as opposed to right under it. So right under it, it wasn't that high, but out here it's getting up to around 30. Clear over there. The highest I've gotten was around 31 milliwatts per meter squared, standing this far away from it. So standing right next to the cell towers, it wasn't that high. Standing a little bit further back from them, it was a little bit high, but not much higher than just the standard electromagnetic waves that are always around you. Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's test how strong the 5G signal is coming directly off of my phone. So comparable to when you're holding it next to your ear talking. So my phone is using my 5G network right now. Let's turn on our meter. So right now we're at around 0.4 milliwatts per meter squared. Jumping around. Let's bring my phone close to it now. Holy cow. 327 it got to. Okay, that is a lot higher than the cell phone tower. Let's turn off my phone completely. 800 it got to. 818. Whoa. Okay, it turned off. So you know that was coming from my phone right there. It's at 1.6. Let's turn on my phone. So it's probably going to use some signal here as it turns on. So it's always kind of sending out some signals, and they don't come in continuous waveform. You can see they come in little packets on this graph down here. If we look at a different source like my wireless mic here, if I put this next to it, you can see how it's kind of just this constant on the graph there. You can see totally how this signal is coming from it. Look how it changes on the graph when I move it close and further away. But with your phone, the packets get sent out in little signals, so it's more choppy. See when I bring my phone near it, how it's these up and down signals? It's changing really fast the amount of signal that's being sent out. Move my phone away, it goes away. Move it closer. Let's try making a FaceTime call. Whoa, 1089. So I'm making a FaceTime call to my other phone here, and you can see how high it got, 1089. Turn it off, it drops right back down. Okay, I have my Google Wi-Fi right here. If I put it right next to Google Wi-Fi, I get in the 600s about. That's as high as it went. So this data is really interesting. The first takeaway from this is that we know that cell phone towers really aren't that big of a risk to you if you're worried about electromagnetic radiation. You're going to get way more radiation coming from your phone next to your head than a cell phone tower that's way far away. The reason for this is simply because of the proximity. The cell phone towers put out a lot more power, but they're a lot further away than your cell phone, which is right next to you. But the question is it dangerous? The radiation coming from this is non-ionizing radiation, so it can't affect your DNA. But what it can affect is the water molecules or sugar molecules in your body. Normal cell phone signals and even your Wi-Fi signal is in the microwave range. So that means it's around the same frequency that your microwave actually uses to cook food. The only difference is your microwave uses a lot more power, and so it can actually heat up the food. So what's all the talk about 5G signals? Well, a 5G signal actually doesn't use electromagnetic waves that are in the microwave wavelength. They're actually in the millimeter wavelength, so they're a little bit shorter, a little bit higher power. But just because that wavelength is smaller doesn't necessarily mean it's more dangerous to your body. So really, the only risk that your cell phone could cause you is causing your skin or your body to heat up a little bit. But really, the amount that it could cause you to heat up is way less than the amount the screen actually heats up due to the battery inside of it. So you can actually feel your phone getting hot in your hand when you use it too much. Now, so far, there's been no adverse health effects that have been causally linked with wireless technologies, but there haven't been a lot of studies on 5G. The World Health Organization and others are currently doing studies on 5G technology that are expected to be published.
Well, Elon Musk had it right. You just got to have the knowledge about what the frequencies and the power is all about. The uh, kind of power that they use at cell phone towers and on cell phones is non-ionizing, and it does not fall into the damaging frequencies that start to break apart DNA. It does not. Okay. And if you think that they do, then you're not. Rewatch this video and listen to these professionals speak about it. I mean, Elon Musk said he'd wear a helmet surrounded by cell phones, and then on his family jewels, he would wear cell phones down there too. And he would not worry one bit, because the energy and frequencies and the power is non-ionizing, and the only thing it can do is heat you up a little bit in the skin and water molecules. Um, I'd be more afraid of crawling into a microwave because of the amount of power, a microwave uses to you know do its job, heat things up, because it really is the perfect water and sugar boiler. And every bit of water and sugar molecule inside of anything that you uh, put in a microwave will heat up. But there's no danger with the microwave as long as the door's closed and then it's operating, because it's like a reverse Faraday box. A Faraday box, let's just say if you have credit cards and you want to put them in something that won't be subjected to an electromagnetic field, you put it inside the box, you seal the box, and then radio frequencies can't get in the box to mess with it, to read them, to wipe them out, to do anything. So Faraday boxes are good for that. But a microwave is like the reverse of that. The signal is processed with inside the microwave box, and it prevents the signal from getting outside to hurt you or heat you up or anything like that. So that's what the process is like. It grounds all the frequencies that are coming out of the transmitter in the microwave, and then they just go harmlessly off to ground, and they leave you alone, and you're not subjected to them. But you can take one of these EMF detectors, and you could find out. You put it all around your microwave, underneath, on the sides, up top, in the front glass area, and find out for yourself. And that's why there's a link. These EMF EM-390s can be ordered on the Walmart website. That's how easy they are to get. So anyway, I hope that you learned a little bit. I'm Minister Charles Nolen, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. And I'm with Rolling with Nolen on the road to recovery from our lack of understanding, and hopefully the show has given you some increased knowledge and has encouraged you to get yourself in line with the reality of the situation. Yeah, there's a ton of frequencies out here and all around us all the time, but the chances that they're going to hurt you are very minimal. I mean, I can speculate and guess like you and say, oh, well, all right, that's fine if they're just operating at its cell phone like frequencies and power. But what happens if they have the ability to turn them up to, microwave strength? Yeah, well, they'd just be cooking all of us, I guess, to the best of their ability. But I don't think that they need to do that or want to do that, because then they'd eliminate all the customers that pay for services to have cell phone service. And that would be ridiculous, and they'd be destroying their own income to hurt us. Um, there's other things that people the conspiracy theories, like the towers have the ability to broadcast more than just 5G, 3G, 4G. They have the ability to transmit straight into your brain or receive signals from your brain. I can't even imagine that at this stage of the game. I don't think that they have the resources to take this energy and get to that level, nor have I ever heard of anything like that. But if I did, I would share it with you. So I've given you everything I got for now. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at my email address, which is right there at the bottom of the screen, charles.nolen1@gmail.com. And I'll be more than happy to look up information, do a show on a subject that you may be interested in learning more about. In the meantime, I definitely look forward to saying the Our Father with you. If you like to hear the Our Father, I'm more than willing to say it with you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Pick Jesus first. Always put Jesus first in your life, no matter what. Whatever you feel. I mean, you know what fear, if you break it up like an acronym, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. And God says, do not fear, for he is with us in every one of us. And, if you don't have a relationship with him, that's the only reason you don't know he's inside of you right now, as you're watching me. Since before you were born, you were with God, and now you were with him for all eternity. I hope to God you just follow his will and let go of your own, because that is what's going to make the difference in our world for you. And you want to be happy, you want to be healthy, God can steer you in the right direction, and he will let you know what you're supposed to do. You'll become the will of God. The instincts that you will develop from that relationship will show you where you need to go. Folks, I look forward to doing another episode in the very near future. So have a beautiful day. I love you, my brothers and sisters. And bye-bye for now.